My name is Diana Soto. I'm the VP with the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce.
My name is Rebecca Rizzo. I'm the Director of Membership for the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber. And today we are here with Stefan Burchard Real Estate. I'm so excited to learn about everything. Make sure that you stay tuned at the end so you can hear a little bit more about what's going on this week at your chamber. Good morning, everyone. Stefan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for asking. This is exciting.
Absolutely. There is so many things going on. Tell us a little bit about what you do and what you have experienced right now, because the real estate market is doing some very interesting things.
That is actually a really good point. I'm Stefan Burchard, the Desert Bowtie Realtor, and I take knots out of real estate. I service the entire Coachella Valley, but I specialize on the west end of the valley. So Desert Hot Springs, Palm Springs, Cathedral City, and Rancho Mirage. When COVID first hit and we went into the shelter in place in mid-March, we immediately saw a decrease in activity. And the measures we started to look at were pending sales. So pending sales usually become closed within 30 to 45 days. So those were some of them. We were looking at new listings and pending sales. So things dropped off very fast during the month of April, probably about halfway through May. Things started to pick up again after that. We've got interest rates, the lowest levels we've ever seen in 70 years.
Wow.
We've just never seen this. So that, coupled with the fact that inventory was getting minimal before COVID started. So we were having a dwindling inventory over the last year or so. And that, you know, nobody knew what was going to happen with COVID. Nobody knew how it was going to affect. Everybody expected this to crash the real estate market. What I had to keep telling people is we don't have a bubble. In 2008, we had a bubble. It was an artificial inflation of values that eventually was going to burst. And it was the secondary mortgage market that helped fuel that implosion that we all know very well as the Great Recession. Out here in the desert, our prices have gone up consistently over the last 10 years, 8% or 4%. That is sustainable growth. 10% or more, that's not sustainable because the cost of living isn't going up with that. Wages aren't going up with that. Economies aren't going. So that's the difference. And yes, we all want to see 10% per year, but that's not sustainable. That's not realistic. So we've seen the activity pick up significantly. June picked up quite a bit. July, I know at our brokerage, HomeSmart, we broke records in July as far as closings and dollar volume. It's unreal. And we're seeing that across the state, and we're seeing that in major metropolitan areas as well. Anyway.
Well, I do want to ask, because you've got all these people, so you had to drop off for a little bit and then it picked up, and then you've got a lot of people that are going in to view homes. And I know there's a different type of process because of COVID. Tell us a little bit about when someone takes a tour, what's required.
The neat thing about what's going on right now is it's forcing those of us in the real estate industry to embrace mobile technology and virtual tours. Before COVID, it was a nice idea. It was a nice little investment. It was a nice little enhancement for people that lived out of area. Now it is critical. If you want to sell a home and get the most amount of people interested, you have to do virtual tours nowadays. So for a very low amount of money, you can get a 3D tour, a virtual tour. You post that on the MLS. That helps bring people to the property. Yes, we can still show properties, but we have this lovely form called a PEAD. I unfortunately don't have the form with me, but it has to do with the pandemic. It's basically a disclosure about the pandemic, social distancing, just warning people of the risks of seeing a home. So they have to sign that form before they go into a property, and that's the basic thing, is they have to sign that form. And then if I, as a listing agent, I have to receive those forms from potential buyers before I can let them in the house. So there's other kinds of codes and tricks we can do with the lock boxes so people can't just go right into a property. We have an extra code where they have to plug in that extra code. Well, they have to call me to get that code. It's called a CBS code, call before showing. So that ensures that the homeowner is going to be protected. So that way, we can take the precautions. We're supposed to, sterilize everything, wash everything down, the whole 9 yards. I just personally go in with rubber gloves and a mask, open everything up. I say, please do not touch absolutely anything. They wander around, then they leave. I'm in rubber gloves and everything. So, everything's pretty safe. We can do open houses, but they did a crazy thing with California Association of Realtors. You can do 15-minute open house appointments. So you can display open house, but people can come in only in 15-minute increments, 2 people at most at a time. They have to sign a guest register for contact tracing. They have to sign a PEAD form, and then they can see the property. I haven't seen any open houses. I think people are doing more of the virtual tour and 3D tours.
Very cool. Now, one thing I also wanted to make sure that I asked about was, tell us a little bit about you mentioned one, but tell us a little bit about some of the volunteer programs and the different types of community things that you're actually involved with.
I am involved with Cathedral City. I'm on the local board there for the Chamber of Commerce. I'm also on the Cathedral City Architectural Review Committee. I just got reappointed to, I don't know how long the term is, but I got reappointed.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that was a little nerve-wracking, but I got reappointed. I really enjoy that work. In addition to that, I'm an ambassador for this chamber. I was an ambassador with the previous chamber. I'm no longer a member of Business Networking International. That's not really volunteer. There's some community groups that I'm a part of. I lead a shamanic type group in my home. I have an outdoor sacred space, I call it. And so I lead rituals and things there, if that's not too woo-woo for anybody. I'm the membership director for the local Greater Palm Springs chapter of Women's Council of Realtors. I'm a director for Palm Springs Regional Association of Realtors. I am on several committees for California Desert Association of Realtors. The ones that light me up are the MLS committee. There's a commercial committee I'm a part of. And then I actually like professional standards. That's where you actually deal with ethics violations. And those are really educational, It's a lot of fun. And I'm also on the board for Desert Advertising Federation. I'm also a director for the California Association of Realtors. I'm on the, what do we call that? Housing Affordability Fund Committee and the MLS policy. And my favorite is called the Business Technology Forum. And that's looking at new technologies that are coming to the marketplace. So it kind of sucks because we're doing everything virtual this year. So, the face-to-face was really, it just was the bee's knees. But, we're just adapting.
Absolutely. You have shown that you are pivoting, adapting, and obviously you are educating yourself on multiple ways so you can continue to help service the community. We're really grateful that you took the time to be a part of this program, and thank you so much. We celebrate you and everything that you do for the community. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Stefan.
Now we have all of these wonderful things that you're talking about. Someone may want to get a hold of you. What's the best way for them to do so that they can reach out to you?
Well, down below, you see my website URL scrolling by. If you add the first name at stefanburchard.com, you can reach me an email. My cell phone number, you can call me or text me, is 760-702-0555. That's 702-0555.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan, for that information. There's so much going on in the real estate world that we had no idea. We really appreciate all of your community service. I just want to give you a couple of brief updates. But first of all, I want to thank all of you who participated on the call this week with Congressman Raul Ruiz. He gave us an update, and if you didn't have the opportunity to participate, that full video is up on our Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. I also want to let you know that both the cities of La Quinta and the cities of Coachella are offering to business members an expansion program, for restaurant business members, an expansion program in order to accommodate for outdoor dining. Both of those applications can be found on the City of Coachella website and the City of La Quinta website, which will be listed below.
Thank you, Diana. And I also want to make sure that everybody's reminded this date, September 3rd, Google is coming back and they're going to help you really work on your website so you can really attract your customer. So be sure to register for that right away.
Thank you, Rebecca. I do know that the first Google series was phenomenal information that was offered, and really looking forward to the second one. That has been your chamber today.